have seen and heard a lot of true crime cases, but not one where the victim disappears and then ends up 600 miles away. Judy Smith, who is 50, and her husband Jeffrey ended up planning a trip to go to Philadelphia because her husband had work there. And so she was going to tag along and just hang out and see the sights. This was April 9th through the 11th, 1997. Just as they were about to board the plane, Judy realized that she had forgotten her passport. And it annoyed Jeffrey, and I'm sure it annoyed Judy too, but she decided to go home and catch a later flight. So Jeffrey ended up boarding the 1:30 flight. Now we know that Judy did fly out at 7:30 that night to Philadelphia. She met her husband in Philly and she apologized with some flowers. This morning was April 10th, 1997, and this was time for Judy to go and do some sightseeing by herself because Jeffrey was going to a conference. They had planned to meet up at 5:30 p.m. that night, and Judy wanted to see things like the Liberty Bell and all of the cool things in Philadelphia. Jeffrey came back to meet his wife at 5:30, but she never came back. So Jeffrey was a little concerned. He kind of ended up going around town trying to find her at these sites, couldn't find her, went back to the hotel, couldn't find her, and so he ended up reporting her missing. Her husband said that all she had on her was a wedding ring, a red backpack, and a wallet. She may have had about $200 on her. Police quickly suspected Jeffrey, of course, but there was no evidence in that. They were both on the flight manifest. There was no evidence that anything had happened, and a lot of people had saw her that day. A bus person, the bus driver, had saw her get on, and there was people around town that saw her. Also, the person at the hotel saw her. So that's just where the case ends up going cold. You have this woman and she is just gone in Philadelphia. Jeffrey eventually had to go home. I mean, his relationship with Judy wasn't the best, but there wasn't really much that he could do in Philadelphia. So he went home and the trail kind of goes cold from there. Was this foul play? Did she have a mental break? Or what was going on here? And where is she? But then something big happens, and it's very mysterious. On September 7th, 1997, she is found unalived 600 miles from where she went missing in North Carolina. In a national forest there, a son and a father were out hiking, and they found remains. They found them at Stony Fork picnic area. This was in a hole that was very shallow, wrapped in a blue blanket, and dental records confirmed that it was Judy. There was some crazy notable items found with her, and get this, they are pretty weird. $167 in cash, a blue and black backpack, clothing, including winter clothing, a wedding ring, and a pair of sunglasses. Now, I'm going to say this the best that I can without getting all of this removed. It was a kitchen utensil to the chest. Now, there are some reports that she could have been seen in North Carolina, or so they thought, but this was really, really strange. These items are not items she left with, and how did she get them with only using the amount of money that she had, and how did she get all the way to North Carolina? So officially, this case is just unsolved, and it is very, very eerie. What happened here? Like, it keeps me up at night because how did she get to North Carolina? Why did she buy these items? Why did she even leave? Did she leave on her own accord? Was there someone else involved here? Did she know someone in North Carolina? These are answers that we're just never going to know, apparently. Some have said maybe she was having an affair in North Carolina, but why would that lead to her being found in this forest, this national forest? That's really crazy. Some people believe that she just left on her own accord, but why North Carolina? Why here? And did she run into something, or was this herself? There's just so many questions in this case. It's just one that, like, I don't think we're ever going to get answers to, and it drives me absolutely insane. So here's my question. What do you guys think happened to Judy? Because what is happening here? Please write your answers below, what you think happened to Judy Smith, and why and how, and just everything, because I'm going insane, guys, literally.